It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Backchannel, the only place to listen to, watch, and chat live with your host right on your Echo device. You are watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee. I am your breakfast jam, James Arthur M.
And I am Renee Culver. Jam, good morning. I'm so happy to
Good
see
morning,
you.
Renee. Bye.
Good to see you. Oh. Okay, I'll see you later. Get on uppers. We're so excited to see you. I cannot wait to hear what's going on. I cannot wait to.
Did you miss me?
I did. I was 90% certain it was a tech issue and 10% like, oh, he's going to bring up a puppy. He is going to get our third cast member today.
And I feel like
dog.
That is kind of, I think Renee constantly runs on the 90-10 scale that she's like, ooh, 90%, this person could be coming over to yell at me.
Yeah,
or 10% give me a puppy.
They're going to bring me a puppy. It's
90%, my boyfriend's going to break up with me, or 10%, they're going to give me a puppy.
Somebody's getting a dog. I think it is a good way to live. I'm not in the market to change it. I think
you should change it.
It's a good way to live.
I'm going to pretend like we're in junior high. This is the 7th grade. I'm signing your yearbook. Don't ever change. Don't ever change.
KIT.
Renee, look at the get on. KIT, get on up first. KIT. No, that's not true. I think we should always all be changing all the time. Let's see who's here, Renee. Shall we see?
Yes.
Let's take a look.
I would love to tell you. I'll take half. You take half. You ready for this? Here we go.
Yeah.
Amanda, Deborah, Verona, Sunny, Bella, and another Amanda. I'm going with 2 Amandas. I'm going with 2.
Good.
2 Amandas.
Oh, wow.
Great name.
It's like, yeah. I love it so much. It's sort of like back in. Wait, did you? Okay, yeah. All right, because there's Amanda, North Carolina, and then Amanda, Vermont.
Exactly.
So it's like
2
in elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
and so would there be like Amanda C, and then there's Amanda. So we've got Amanda V, and then Amanda NC. That's how we'll tell you apart.
That's how we know. That's how we know. But the list continues, my jam.
It does. I had to breaking news. I had to make sure that we got that in there. We also had Kim from New York, Nathan and sometimes C in Texas. Jennifer Lopez been here every week. Well, at least this week and last week. J-Lo tuning in. Cole from South Carolina, you already know it. Amanda from North Carolina, and home from New Jersey, and Scott, Wisconsin. A big shout out to everybody for getting in here, getting on up. And if you maybe got here and you're like, what is this? How did this happen? How come you can see everyone's names? You can actually change your name. So if you don't want your name to be home, not saying that your name's not home, but maybe it was an accident and you're like, no, how do I change this? Well, you're just saying your device, my name is this, and it'll change it. I think.
Oh, that's nice. I feel like you should take that liberty all the time, always. Just have them call you if you're having a bit of a bummer day, and you just say, "My name is Rockstar," and then all day long, your device will be like, "Yes, Rockstar. How can I help you?"
Rock. And Rocky for short. Rocky for
I'll
short.
take it.
Well,
I'll take
as we were saying, say is the magic word. What's so great about this show is you get to interact with Renee and I. You're part of the fun. We get that immediate audience feedback. Some house rules. Keep it kind. We are, creating the safe space of a community. So keep it kind here, especially because Renee and I are 2 sensitive little souls here.
Fragile. Well, you're pretty tough. I am fragile.
Oh no. No. Oh, and look at this home, our first home. You're not interrupting at all. I love it. You are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You did it right. Home just said, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm very happy to see you guys. That just warmed my heart. Didn't that just warm your heart?
You're the best thing that ever happened to us.
About it too.
I love it.
So
and right after the house rules, no less. That is a perfect example of how to keep it kind. That's perfect. We love it.
Living up to your name. You're making me feel like I'm at home right now. So I appreciate you. We appreciate you. But in home has already put out the great example there. You just go say, and then whatever comes out of your mouth will pop up. Renee and I will usually stop everything to comment and react. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're like, talking about, okay, Russia just invaded Ukraine. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Somebody
Would you
just
look at this?
Vanessa's talking about Hot Pockets. What about Hot Pockets, Vanessa? No,
We got to hear it,
Ukraine's
Vanessa. We got to know.
Yeah.
Yes. As it should be. Our Get On Uppers are the type of folks that you want to stop everything for.
Oh, absolutely.
I know
would
them, and I think I
absolutely
do.
stop. We've just solved cancer, but wait a minute. Tyler knows a new dance.
As it should be. So again, to do such a thing, you say to your device, say, and then whatever you have to say, and we'll enjoy chatting with you. Enjoy it.
Say, James, your ring light looking a little hot. Is it
Do you
too bright?
think? I don't think. I think it looks nice. You know what? So the other day when I was
Renee.
showing you, yes. Okay, all right. We'll see you in a bit. When I was showing you Leslie Jones's TikTok, which, oh my gosh, so fun. She's doing commentary on the Olympics. But I was remiss to make sure that I got our producer Sarah the video in time. So I was just showing it to you on my phone, and the reflection on my phone was just like, oh, she's using a ring light, and it is on high.
But once you go ring light, you'll never. I mean, I have my
Never.
coworkers. They're like, sometimes. This is my first advice for the day, everybody. We're gonna tell you what's going on in the show in just a moment. But we love just helping you get on up in your life, get on up in your personal life, your work life. It's going on year 3 of the Pandemic Lovato, the Pandemic Anderson, the pandemic. If you work from home, and you don't already have a ring light. Just do it. Just do it.
Does
You
help.
know,
It helps.
$30 on Amazon. You can do it. You
Yeah.
can go right into your Echo device and probably go order me a ring light.
A ring light. And they're affordable. I think it was like $27. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll hop into a meeting and it's like, is Janice in the witness protection program? You're talking to somebody and they're like covered in shadow.
Sure.
And you're like, should you be in this meeting? Like they're just this covered in shadow. So don't be that.
No, I do. Well, or also if you were the type of person who's like, I did not sign up for this. I work in IT. No one said that I was going to have to be on camera. I think it's also okay to be like, I hate this. And so you just turn off your camera. That's fine. You just say camera off. I think.
Well, agree to disagree early on in the morning, Renee. I agree to disagree.
All right, that's fair.
And I think because I'm coming from a company, we are remote first. We're not going to the office. You're going to have to be on camera. It's just going to have, like, I would have to see you in the office.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just go into the office covered in a blanket.
Yeah,
right?
no,
like, I think,
Yeah.
It's,
Boy, that's
people are going to
it's
see
tricky.
you. It's the virtual office space.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in this. What would you do?
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in this.
I love that. Yeah. Or how do you feel about
Let's
this?
circle back.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, I already have a scenario. Remind me. Okay. So let's talk about what we're gonna do for the show. And hello, Stacy.
Stacy's here. Stacy, we're so happy to see you.
Yes, important time. All right. So here's what's going down for today. So we're gonna start off. It's Humpty Hump Day, and we're gonna kick it off with some morning jams. So what is your jam of the week? That song that is making you feel pumped up, your power anthem, or maybe it's just describing your week. You're just like, my song is Someone Left My Cake Out in the Rain. And that's gonna be your song for the week.
Please make that song. Please record that song. Please, I beg of you. Someone left my cake out in the rain. Did I hear you correctly?
You know that song. Someone left my cake out in the rain. It's a song.
You're right. I do. I put it on anytime I'm feeling blue. You're right. I know all the words. Yes.
You know the song. It's a song. I'm not making it up.
Wait, are you serious? Someone left my cake out in the rain is a song? I don't believe you. I'm Googling that immediately. There's no way that's actually a song. Someone left my Kit Kat in the rain.
It is a real song. It is the lyrics. There is. You've heard this song before.
Yeah, Google has never heard of such a thing. They have never heard of such a thing. Google, not even Reddit has heard of this jam.
This is not a fever dream. Mandela. It's the Mandela effect. I woke up in an alternate universe.
Okay.
We're also going to be doing. I'm going to find it for you, Renee.
All right. Does not exist.
This is our first official fight on air. Okay. Then we're gonna have a celebrity birthday quiz. Celebrities have birthdays just like us. We're gonna quiz you about some of them who are celebrating their birthday today. And then we have our Black History moment, and that's all in the top of the show. Then what's in the back half, Renee?
So much. There's so much good stuff going on. And then, and I'm excited now because I want to finish this conversation of whether or not you owe your coworkers an aesthetically pleasing agenda.
Whoa, I don't know that I said that. Just turn your camera on. Just turn your camera on.
That's all Jam asks. We're going to play a game called What Would You Do Wednesday, wherein we'll give you various scenarios and we'll ask your advice on what would you do. We're also doing a new segment called Well, this has potential. Maybe this could be a good thing, perhaps. And then one of my favorite segments that we do of the entire week, the Jams presents to us, Whilin' or Working It. Wait, as I'm reading this, Jam presents to us, and then just now I was like, oh, I think I learned this last week that we're both supposed to come up with a Whilin' or Working It.
Yeah, we both do it. You did it last week.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you didn't do the week
You know what I
before.
think I can do? You know what I think I can do? I can maybe
Yeah.
scoot some of my what would you do's into Whilin' or Working It.
There,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll make it
did,
work. I'll make it
Renee,
work.
just a secret. I did the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Yeah. You get them both. All right.
little bit,
So
yeah.
also just to prove that, do you want to be right or you want to be happy?
Mhm.
I want to be right. I don't care about being happy. So there is a song, MacArthur Park. Someone left the cake out in the rain.
Oh, no, I agree with you there.
now we know.
Wait, I thought you were saying Kit Kat, the candy bar. I was like, there is definitely not a song called Someone Left My Kit Kat in the Rain, but someone left the cake out in the rain. Yes, that is a song.
Someone left the cake out in the rain.
Okay.
And I don't think I can take it because it took so long to bake it.
Yes.
And I'll never have the recipe again.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, we love it. Get on uppers. Do you agree, though, that Kit Kat should release a competitive song called Someone Left My Kit Kat in the Rain?
That's what
Does
you were
not
going on? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, Renee, you
I can
had to
show you
learn
my
this
Google
song.
search. It says
don't
someone
have-
left my Kit Kat in the rain. That's what I heard.
You're so silly. You got candy on the brain, Renee. You got candy on the
Always.
brain. Well, Christy,
Always.
welcome to the show. We are just about to get started with our morning jams. So get on uppers. First question for you for the day, or maybe I think Renee might have asked you another question already, but there's this at least top five first questions. What is your morning jam for the day? Your theme song? We already had one. Your power anthem, or maybe describing your week. You can enter your device, say "Someone left the cake out in the rain" if that is your song, and that will be like
Should be.
virtual
It's gonna be now.
hug. Virtual hug. What a sad song.
Well,
Who
yeah.
left the cake out in the rain?
It's not very nice. It's not a very
Yeah.
respectful way to do things. Yeah. Well, I'm
What's
now I'm going
yours?
to go listen to. I would love to tell you. I would love to. So I'm obsessed with. I'm not watching it without you. You know that. I'm obsessed with Dollface, the show that's on Hulu. They're coming out with the second season on Friday, so I have to do a rewatch. So as we're rewatching the pilot, and for those that watch Dollface, you'll recall it is about a girl who has just recently broken up with her boyfriend, and she discovers, ooh, I did not maintain any of my female relationships during the 5 years that we were together. So the pilot is about her trying to rekindle those relationships, and it doesn't go well initially, but then by the end. No spoiler. Well, I guess it is a spoiler. Everybody's dancing in the club. Everybody's dancing in the club. And by no spoiler, I mean fully here's what happened.
Hey, look, I just got a full season 1 recap. Did you watch all of season 1 yesterday?
No, that's this is all just in the pilot. It's all just in the pilot because she said to the one friend, "How do I make up with her?" And she's like, "You should go to a party because you hate parties, and it will prove to her that you'll do something for her that you don't normally want to do." So they go to the club, and the song is called "I Came Here for Love," and it is a bop. I love it so much. Now, I'm curious about this. I did give the YouTube link of the song to Sarah, but I don't know if I have the capacity to play a YouTube link to hear it. Sarah, do you want to try? Do we want to see if that's a thing that we can do?
Try.
Possibly not, in which case I'll just need my Get On Uppers to put into Google, I Came Here for Love by Sigala and Ella. Hold on. Ella Erie.
Oh.
Who sang it for me.
Mm.
It's great. That's great. Looks like we do not quite have the capacity to play a YouTube clip on the show.
Ooh, look, we're on the YouTubes.
Is it happening?
Now.
Is it happening? Can sound go through? This is exciting. Okay. All right. Well, that's the music video. We're not quite getting sound, but you can. But you know what? I think that this is a good thing because it is the type
Came
of
here
song
for love.
that is so good. It's so. I guess I could do that. Hold on, just a second.
Oh yeah.
One moment,
Well, I
please.
think okay, we'll hold. I think this is it's a great song. It's definitely a bop. It's definitely a jam. We love it so much. I definitely have danced in the discotheque to this song before, and
Yeah, it's so good.
super excited for season 2 of Dollface. Let us know, get on uppers. Are you Dollface fans? You can enter to.
Uh-oh. 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 Sorry, I am forcing this on you. It'll just be like the quick verse and then, right? Just based off that. Okay. All right, we get it. We get it. And then we'll just do a little quick
the
fast
chorus. Get us to the chorus.
Okay, great. So you get it. I came here for love. You go to the club saying I came here for love. Hilarious, because that's usually not why you go to the club.
That's actually why in my 20s, I did go to the club for love. I was like, oh, I'm gonna, it's a quote Janet Jackson's Someone to Call My Lover song. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. He'll drive a fancy car. Maybe we'll meet in a club and fall so deeply in love. That song seeped into my 15-year-old heart. And that's how I thought people found love. And into my 20s, Renee, I find it hard to believe you never went to the club to try to find love.
I'm sure I did. Of course I did. Yes, still go to the club to try to find love. I'm like, well, if I'm out, karmically, I deserve love. Yeah.
That tracks.
Me yelling at the universe. I better get something for this.
That absolutely tracks. All right. So wait. So tell me, is that speaking to? Is that speaking to?
Really
is this speaking to? So is that your theme song for the week, or you just are like, I love the song and it's stuck in my head, or like, how does it apply to your life right now?
Just I'm excited for Dollface song of the week because I do deeply associate this song with Dollface, the TV show on Hulu, and then it's just I don't know. I do. I just want Get On Uppers to be like, I've never heard of that. There's 8 billion TV shows out at this point, and even if you do have a reference of, okay, I know what that is, you also have to write where to find it.
No, and it does help. It does help, Renee. And it does help. Like when you go onto a show, or you're watching a show or a podcast or this show, and we give there's to Renee's point, there's so much programming that it helps when someone like recommends a show. So
yeah, and we're going to talk about this soon. The Oscar nominations came out, and I want to watch all these movies. I don't know where to find half of them. So it would have been nice for the people writing the articles to say, and here's where you could find such a thing. But no, I also feel like it's just the type of song that you can't like throw your head back.
Oh, no. Yeah, you got to Snoopy it. You got to Snoopy dance it. You got to Snoopy it. Oh my gosh, Renee.
My jam, a sweet, sweet jam. What is your jam?
Well, first of all, apparently this shirt that I'm wearing is Stacy's jam. Stacy gave me a compliment. Nice shirt. Thank you, Stacy. This is the first time I'm wearing it. I recently went shopping and bought 12 plaid and flannel shirts. And so I thought I was doing the hoodies. I thought I had 10 different multicolored hoodies, and you've not seen one in a while.
Not one. Do you want a flippity flop? And well, no, because summer is coming. Did you know it's supposed to be 90 degrees in LA this week?
Wow, that doesn't sound right. I guess that groundhog really did not see his shadow.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was.
He did see it, which means it's supposed to be 6 more weeks of winter. But this 90 degrees was like, never heard of it. Nope, summer now.
That's a Pennsylvania thing. I think I also am going to try to level up our skills here on Get On Up this morning. We're going to see. I sent Sarah an actual video, and I'm curious if it's going to allow us to play the sound. So this is my song that makes me think of this show. Renee, everybody here. Let's see if we can hit us with this jam.
It should work because when we played the Bugs Life clip, we heard the sound. So. If that worked,
and you downloaded it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Well, here we go.
Science. All right. Oh boy. All right.
No audio either.
Okay. Well, the audio's tricky to figure out. Okay.
All right.
It
Well,
looks great though.
not gonna tell you. I'm gonna save it for next week. So hold
Oh,
on.
you need the
Yep, we're
audio.
gonna
Do you
wait
want to
until we
do
figure this out. Nope,
what
we're
I
gonna
okay.
wait.
All right.
Nope, we're
That's
gonna
fair.
wait till next week. So I have no song of the day. There's no song in my heart. I am songless.
That's
I'm
hard.
gonna double
I can't have
down.
that. I can't. Do you
Well,
want to
we
borrow
actually,
mine?
nope. We actually have my song, my jam of the day. Clearly, it is "Someone Left My Cake Out in the Rain." It took too long to bake it, and I don't think I'll get the recipe anymore. That's my song. That's my song. It makes
Oh,
sense because
Jim.
I woke up with a headache this morning, so it
Oh,
kind of felt like
buddy.
someone did leave my cake out in the rain.
Sorry.
Because yesterday I was having a time of my
Yeah.
life, and
Yeah.
similar, like you bake your cake, and you're
Right.
like, oh man, this is so great. I love this cake. I'll
Yeah.
just set it outside,
Yeah.
and then or someone
Someone will
takes
settle it
your
outside.
cake.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, look at this cake. I love this cake that James just baked. I'm just gonna put it
Yeah.
outside for a moment. And then you go to bed and you're like, I'm gonna have some of that cake. And
Yeah.
then it's covered in rain.
Well, I'm so
So
sorry. How's your head now? Did you take some Advil? Are you feeling any better?
ibuprofen.
Okay.
Ibuprofen.
Is it working?
Ibuprofen. Yeah. But I think my cake's still in the rain. My cake's
Okay.
still in the rain.
No, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Well, I'm sorry that your video didn't play, and I'm sorry that your cake's in the rain, and I'm sorry about your headache, but you were pushing through like a champion. Great
I
work.
mean, we don't call her Jam for nothing.
Sure
Jamming
don't.
on through.
We
All
sure
right.
don't.
Well,
Get on.
it is time. Oh, yes. Renee has an announcement to
Wanted to
make.
see if the Get On Uppers had a song that they wanted to share with us that was their morning jam.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
too
Do
late
you
to
want to
ask.
We're already in the next segment. Oh, wait. No, it still says Jam of the Week at the bottom. We still have time. Okay. To Renee's question. Whatever says at the bottom, that's where we are. We are, that's where
That's
we
what
go.
you're doing. That's what you're doing.
Because to Renee's point, if you have a jam of the day, you can just shout it out right into your device, and it'll pop on up, and we'll sing it as
We'd love
best
to
we
hear
know
it.
it.
We would love to hear it. Oh,
And
Stacy, very kind. Stacy's also sending you some well wishes on your headache. Hopes you feel better soon.
thank you, Stacey. I appreciate it. I already, honestly, coming and doing the show it's already helped
Great.
a million
Great
fold. So thank you for
Great.
the well wishes. Okay, I think it's our favorite part, and Stacey, you know this part. It is celebrity birthdays, and Kathleen just joined us. Perfect time,
Happy
Kathleen.
birthday
Day
to you.
to ya. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday.
Great. Can't wait. I can't wait. Who was born February 9th? We all want to know. We all want to know.
Absolutely want to know. Okay, here it is. Alice Walker turned 78. Alice Walker is born today. Here we go. We're gonna put up we got a photo of Alice Walker. Alice Walker is still with us, born in 1968. Looking fly. We love her so much. All right, Alice Walker, novelist. Here's your trivia question. So everybody, Renee's gonna need your help. Remember her lie from yesterday was that she went to a trivia quiz and got everything right on a date, and wasn't true.
Okay. All right.
No.
Nope.
So was that too much? Should I
hurtful.
bring up?
It's not at all hurtful.
Wow. Renee's like, why are you bringing this up? That was yesterday. I told you in the Get On Uppers and the recorded YouTube that lives out there forever now. That
A
in
secret
confidence.
between us that we all agreed we were going to keep it together. Delightful. I'm just really, really enchanted by the fact that the one thing that you absolutely cannot believe about me is that I would do well in trivia.
Well, you just sold it a little too much, Renee. If you recall, Renee was like, we played Two Truths and a Lie, and she said that I went on a date and I got everything right. It was a magical miracle. Only because trivia is so hard. Who gets everything right in trivia?
Also, we've been doing this for 5 weeks running. Everyone is very clear that I have plenty of gifts. Retaining knowledge is not one of them at all.
Wow. Well, sometimes you've been knowing. Yesterday, you knew a question or two all on your own. So, Alice Walker.
Yes.
She was the first Black woman to win this prize for fiction. Alice Walker was the first Black woman to win this prize for fiction. You can
All
help
right.
Renee out by just going in, just into your device, going
Yeah.
say, bada, 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 bada. Or if you're checking us out on the YouTube, you can clickety clack on your computer the answer, and we'll see it. We'll see it.
Yeah, we sure will. All right, get on uppers. What do we think? I'm gonna go with Pulitzer, which is big.
Okay. Yeah.
But but if it were just something like local woman does well at a bookstore, I don't think that would have made the trivia. So I think, and also she's wildly famous and acclaimed, and I feel like she's a Pulitzer winner. Get on uppers. You okay if I say Pulitzer? Everybody feel good about that? She won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
All right. Look at that, Renee. Maybe you did actually win all the trivia on that date, because you're right. You're absolutely right. Pulitzer Prize. Renee, would you like to go for a follow-up bonus question?
I would love to go for a follow-up bonus question.
Follow-up question for what book?
I don't know.
Book? It was turned into a movie in the 90s. Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, The Color Purple?
Do you want to lock in that answer?
I do.
Ding, 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 ding. You did it, Renee. Renee, you gotta have confidence in yourself, girl.
Thank you.
You're like, what book? You're like, I don't know. I can't know. No, I don't want to play.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
She knew it. And then she knew it. She knew it. I would love to see you on like Jeopardy. They ask you, like, no, I know. What is the color purple?
No, it's not funny when I do it, but when you do a reenactment of it, it is gold. That's hilarious.
On Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I can't. Someone with a kick out in the ring.
I'm delighted. This is fun for me.
All right, next one. Okay, we're going to Carole King. Carole King turning 80 here.
Happy birthday to Carole King. Love it. We love it. We love it.
All right. At just 18, she wrote her first single with the Shirelles back in 1960. What was the name of this song?
Shirelles. Shirelles' mama told me there'd be days like this?
It's not that, but I do love your knowledge of Carole King music.
But also, is that Shirelles? Do you know if that's Mama said there'll be days like this? There'll be days like this.
I don't know. But look at you. Did you see the Carole King musical?
No, I should have. I hear it's great.
Yeah, you would love it.
Yeah, I also love the Shirelles. So great. That was one of my first albums.
Really?
Shirelles. Yeah. Wow. But now I can't think of the one song that they've sang because, again, my brain refuses to retain knowledge. Social media came and my brain went.
Gotta watch it. It's not on TikTok. Renee doesn't know it.
No, exactly. Well, even if it is TikTok, I won't know. Yeah.
Well, the Shirelles just need a TikTok. That's what it is.
It could help. I don't know, and I'm going to be upset about it. Get on uppers. Do you guys know what song did Carole King help the Shirelles write?
And you're right. The Shirelles did write. That is, Mama said there'd be days like this. That is Shirelles song.
Okay.
Mama said.
Okay. Mama said. Yeah, it's great. That album is so good. There's also one about weekdays. Well, I met him on a Monday. I don't know, and it's gonna kill me when you tell me. But which one is it?
Renee. Well, here's the good news.
Yes.
It's Carole King's birthday, so just focus on that. Not that you didn't get the trivia question right.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good song. Okay, that's great.
That's a good song.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, on to our next one. It is Jason George. Here. All right, what nighttime soap is he still starring on? He's been on there since season 7.
Oh boy.
Nighttime soapy show. Like kind of like a nighttime soap. Comes on once a week.
Got it. Okay.
Nighttime network.
The first thing that came to me is Grey's Anatomy, because that's been on forever. And the fact that you said still seems like it's indicative of something that's been on forever. How do we feel? Get on uppers. Do you want to help me out with that? What do we think? Stacey, thank you. Thank you so much, Stacey. I think Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, locking in Grey's
Okay.
Anatomy. You are right, Renee. Renee, you're doing
Yay!
so well. Renee,
so
do you
much.
want a follow-up bonus
Of
question?
course I do. Of course I do. I also think you're
You're
helping
such a
me.
You're such a glutton. You're like, oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Why
give
would
it to
I?
me, give it to
Why
me.
would I want a winning streak? Let's ruin this. Yes.
Why do I want to feel good this morning? So yes, but he started on Grey's Anatomy in season 7. I believe they're on season 18 right now with no signs of stopping. It's still one of ABC's biggest shows. Ellen Pompeo is one of she's the highest paid actress right now on television. And let me tell you, I really appreciate it because like if she leaves, the show probably will not continue. Maybe it will go on one more season. It's like when Zach Braff left Scrubs, it went on for one more season. They wrapped it up, right? So I appreciate because like there's so many people who are employed because she keeps saying, yeah, I'll do another season, I will say during last year, they just put her like in a COVID coma for a good while so she could take some time off. Like they keep finding ways. They're like, oh, she's traveling abroad, but like she's still popping in and out, but she's barely there.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting?
I love Grey's Anatomy so much. I've watched it since like, it just has gone through with me for the last like 18 years of my life. It's just been through college, through post-college.
I am so impressed that you've watched such a thing. Okay.
Oh yeah. I love me some Grey's Anatomy. It does make me skeptical about getting surgery because there was one season where like everybody kept dying from surgery. But okay, follow-up question. He made his debut on this canceled daytime soap opera.
Made his debut. Canceled. All My Children. Wait, where does Grey's Anatomy film? Los Angeles. General Hospital.
Ooh, these are great guesses. The Short-Lived Sunset Beach by Aaron Spelling. I love me some Sunset Beach. I loved it so much.
Great.
Had a serial killer on one of the seasons. And then, all right, so here it is. Judith Light is turning 73. Is turning 73.
Love her
so much. Do you know what play in 1970 did she make her Broadway debut in? It's a classic play.
Okay. She won the Tony for Wit, but that was in the 90s.
That's not the trivia question.
I know.
You can't just make up your own trivia, Renee.
Okay. Are you helping me out with the word classic?
Yes.
Can you tell me who wrote it?
I mean,
or what that? Are you going to say Shakespeare?
No, I'll say it to you. I wish. I can. I just feel like it might give it away. But I believe it was written by was it Henrik Ibsen?
Oh no, that won't help me.
No,
unless it's
you didn't.
No, I know. I don't know.
It's sort of the name of the title is almost sort of like the name of that show that you're obsessed with, that your song came from.
Face. She appeared in the play Scarface. Final answer.
A Doll's House is the correct answer. You went in the other direction. You took Face, which is not an actual title.
Hilarious. Okay.
Oh,
and Scarface is just a character, right? Is there actually a movie called Scarface?
There's a movie called Scarface based on the real life guy played by Al Pacino. Okay. She also, follow-up question, she gave a performance on this soap opera that is still studied today.
Really?
People say that it's so powerful and is remembered so vividly that this day it is used as a model in acting classes through the nation. It was also recently honored as being one of TV Guide's 100 most memorable moments on television. And what soap opera was that on?
Okay, so here's how I'm gonna deduce that if she was doing a play in New York in the 70s, then the soap opera needs to be filmed in New York, and I think that's All My Children. There's probably more than one, but that's the one I know films in New York.
For sure. Yeah, used
on the
to.
shoulder.
Cancel.
And now it's over.
One Life to Live. You were so close. You were on the right network, ABC, and One Life to Live came on right after All My Children. Renee, you're doing great. You're
Oh
doing
my
great.
gosh, this monologue. Do you know what the monologue's about?
Oh, I still try to watch on YouTube. It's called Karen Wollock on the Stand. I watched a little bit of it, and it is powerful. Make
I
sure you
love
watch
it.
the 8-minute clip and not the hour-long Reba McEntire clip where she talks about it. She's like, "Hey, everybody, we're gonna watch this clip. Bang, bang, bang! I got a gavel. You know what we're doing? We're going to the court." Like she was, I don't know,
Yeah.
like describing the scene, or to just play the scene. Reba McEntire.
Okay, I get you. I get you. Stacey, thanks for tuning in for a little bit. It's always good to see you.
Oh, bye, Stacey. We appreciate you. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thanks for coming on in. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch that monologue. Sorry. God.
It's good. Yeah. No, go get take your notes, Renee. What are you doing?
Well, that was I so far 2 for 2 as we enter a new segment. I was like, wait, one more thing about the last segment. Second time I've done that. So that was my
no. We still have we're done with today's still the 9th, right? Okay, yes, two more.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay,
Michael
wonderful.
B. Jordan's birthday today. It's Michael B. Jordan's
Love
birthday,
him.
turning 35. And it's one of those moments that I'm just like, I'm 36, he's 35. Run your own race, James. Run your own race.
Exactly. You're cuter than he is, and he is cute.
I don't know. I love you, Renee, but I feel like this is one of those things my mom's like, "You're the most talented boy in the world." One of those things.
You are. Okay.
All right. It's Michael B. Jordan's birthday, turning 35. His role, what was his first role was in this HBO series.
Oh boy.
His first role was in this HBO series.
Why did you even ask me Rocky questions?
Oh, there was actually originally a question about Rocky that Sarah
Well,
wrote. I changed it. I deleted it.
You son of a gun. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. It was The Sopranos, and most people think it's The Wire because he is in the first season of The Wire. That was one of his main breakout roles, but I guess he had a little bit in The Sopranos, and they were like, "Get this kid on over to The Wire." All right, let's ask your trivia question. Who does he play in the Rocky franchise?
Oh wait! Oh God! Oh no!
Wait,
can we restart the show? Can we?
You asked for. I literally just gave you a softball thing of what you asked for.
I know.
Why didn't you ask me any Rocky questions? Did you think he played Rocky?
No, I know he didn't play Rocky. We're having a bit of a moment with my brain, and my brain's like, I can't help you. Okay. I know you love it. I know you can quote from it. One step, one punch, one round at a time. One step, one punch, one round at a time. And he kills it, and he does great. And the sequel is just as good as the actual movie, but now I cannot tell you what the name of the movie is. It's a problem.
Renee, what I love so much is, first of all, I never knew that you were such a fan
Rocky.
of this. Wow, I had no idea. Wow, there we go. Happy birthday
to us.
Is it our birthday? Wow. All right. So good morning, America. It's this guy's birthday. Fabulous. Creed. He plays the role of Creed.
Lord in heaven. I don't. Sometimes it scares me. I was just like, oh, this is it. This is Alzheimer's. Well, it'll be fine.
You're fine. Okay. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, okay. So how about this? He was interviewed, Get On Uppers and Renee. He was interviewed by this Get On Up co-host. He was once interviewed by this
Get On Up. Tell us everything. Is he as nice as we want him to be? Is he as kind as we want him to be? It's you, Jam.
Oh, are we going with the final answer?
Why don't you go and tell us all about that interview?
Yeah, because it was me. I gave it away. I said, "This Get On Up co-host." It was already right there. Yeah, he's great. I interviewed him. He's wonderful. He's so nice, so kind. I interviewed him at the Black Panther red carpet, so I got to interview him, Angela Bassett, like the late Chadwick Boseman. He's so great. It was delightful. It's on the YouTubes if you want to check it out. It is there, and he's great. Wonderful guy.
We love it. We absolutely love to see it. Oh, happy birthday, Michael B. Jordan, 35th.
And I want to give him a shout out because his production company Outliers has an inclusion writer clause that allows actors to contractually demand 50% cast and crew diversity on set on all of his projects.
Of course he does. What a guy.
And he got that from Frances McDormand when she won her, I think it was an Oscar, and she was like, inclusion writer. And she just said that and like walked off. And he was like, what's that? And then he added it to his production company clauses. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
I couldn't love that more. I'm also going to be laughing the rest of my life about like, ask me questions about Rocky. What's the name of the movie? Don't know. Ask me another question.
Oh, Renee, that's why we love this segment. You take us on a Mr. Toad's wild ride. Okay, our last one, and welcome to Jeff, Anju, and Patty. It is our last celebrity birthday quiz question. Renee could use your help. She's the last few have not gone her way. So into your device, you can just go say the answer is Creed, and that would help Renee out. All right, last one. It is another Marvel cousin's birthday, Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But what role did he originally audition for in Marvel? What role did he originally audition for in Marvel as this superhero?
Who? Get on uppers. Do you know this? I definitely don't know this. Based off that, who smiles a lot in the Marvel universe? Who's got a good? Who did he originally audition for?
And screen tested for, so he made it pretty far. Yeah,
real far. Okay. Who would he be good at? Let's go with Iron Man.
Okay, locking in that answer of Iron Man. There it is. Thor. He's screen.
Really?
I know he's screen tested for Thor. He was working with Kenneth Branagh, directed the first Thor movie, and he was doing Shakespeare with Kenneth Branagh, and so Kenneth Branagh pretty much like brought him in. Very talented. I think it's on YouTube. I've seen the screen test, and the performance is great. But he ain't got that body yaddy yaddy that you need your Thor to have. You know, it just wasn't. It wasn't gonna.
Okay. All right. Well,
and
but I'm proud of him.
And then he got Loki, and everybody loves Loki. We love him. And he doesn't have his own show on Disney Plus. And on the set, he loves Loki so much, and I love it when characters really actors dive into the material and get really nerdy about it. He loves his character so much. On the set of Loki, he gave what people call the Loki lectures to the entire production and cast. Like he had like a symposium, wall charts, so everybody really understood the psychosis of Loki, the world, the timeline. It was pretty impressive.
Incredible. All right. Well, I love it. I love how much you know about things.
Oh,
I'm glad one of us does.
There we go. Yeah. Well, it is time for us to get on over to our Black History Month moment.
Yeah, this is a cliffhanger. We've been waiting to hear about this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So today we are talking all about Ida B. Wells. So yesterday we talked about her sister friend, Mary Church Terrell, who was, doing some really great stuff in terms of really helping to bring awareness about lynching and really to help uplift Black folks. So this is our Black History Month moment here, and in a moment we'll have a picture of Ida B. Wells here in a moment. So today, there she is, Ida B. Wells, just so fabulous. So Ida B. Wells Barnett. So she is, and what's so interesting here in San Francisco, there is a high school named after Ida B. Wells, and it's one of those people that was like, oh, who is this high school? I think it's Lady. I'm not really sure. And then finding out her story, I'm like, whoa, what a dope name for a school. So she was a journalist, an activist, and a researcher in the late 19th, early 20th centuries. What a wild time. That's so funny. People will be talking about, oh yeah, Jam and Renee. They were morning show hosts of the early 21st century, born in the late 20th century.
That's nuts.
Wild.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
There
yeah,
was
yeah.
somebody who said, I heard some kids saying, some
Mhm.
kids, okay, we're dating myself.
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, she was born in the late 1900s. I was like, how dare you? How dare you? Is that offensive? That's so
Yeah.
offensive.
It's
That's
hurtful. It's
mean.
definitely hurtful. Anybody who's got a
That's
birthday that starts
mean.
with 2 is hurtful.
Yeah. But it's like
Yeah.
the sound of like I was technically born towards the late 1900s, someone would
Right.
say. And it just makes me sound no
Yeah.
offense, but it looks like
You
I have a
are
photo like Ida B. Wells over here,
you are
right? Doesn't make
immortal.
her
You are eternal. You are everlasting. You are the spring of life. You are fine.
okay. See,
Take that home. Take that
this is
home.
how I get on up. Renee just gives me lots of compliments. So because I get down. I get down on myself.
No, no, no.
Okay, so she was born in Holly Springs, Mississippi, July 16th, 1862. Again, just like dodging slavery, pretty much, right? Like she
Right.
just a couple of years later, end of the Civil War ends, and woo. And so she was born to the Wells family, and as well as the rest of enslaved people of the Confederate States, was eventually decreed free by the Union. Thanks for the Emancipation Proclamation about 6 months after her birth. So she was born enslaved, and then Civil War ended, and they're like, okay, girl, you free, emancipate yourself. And post Civil War, her parents became active in the Republican Party of that time.
Okay.
So the Republican Party then was all about Reconstruction era politics. The really sad thing about Reconstruction is that like it only lasts for about 10 years, and um, it doesn't really take off. It needs more work and effort. It really kind of fails. It's really kind of incredibly unfortunate too. If you've ever seen the movie Lincoln, it's so tragic that his life was cut so short because it really needed his leadership and commitment
Right.
to things like 40 acres and a mule, and making sure that like how do we reintegrate these people who were dehumanized, forced to work for free and enslaved, and there has to be a process of like having these two groups of people live together. And that was, they tried it for 10 years and like, we're done.
Right.
So this is where she was born in this sort of era, and she was like, okay, not gonna let anything like this happen again. She was like, living in Mississippi around this time, it is not cute. But her
Right.
parents are all about education, just like her friend Mary Church Terrell that we learned about yesterday. Her dad was involved in the Freedmen's Aid Society and helped start Shaw University. No big deal. Dad just
Yeah.
starting a university. And this was a school for newly freed enslaved people. It's now known as Rust College. She went to Rust College, but she was expelled because she was too brilliant. She was too
Yeah.
brilliant. She was
Chinese
too
don't do
smart.
well at regular schools.
No. I mean, look at Renee. You got thrown out of school how many times? You were just like,
Daily.
this is not for me.
Daily. Yeah.
Renee, get out of here. You're too smart. She started a dispute with the university president, just already speaking to truth. She was like, I don't think that's right. And they were like, get out of here, woman. So in 1878, there was a big tragedy. So at 16, while visiting her grandma, they told her that yellow fever broke out, killing both her parents and her baby brother.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trauma. So she was then left to raise her brother and her sister. And then she was convinced, and then she convinced a nearby county school administrator that she was 18. She was 16, and she got a job as a teacher, keeping the family together. So, like, just this woman, right?
That's incredible. Yeah.
So she moved to Memphis. She moved to Memphis, and she continued studying at Fisk University while teaching, while raising her brother and sister. And this is just the genesis of her origin story. So, Ida B. Wells, she wrote about issues of race and politics in the South. She went by the moniker Iola. And good morning to you, Doug. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're doing
I'm so happy to have you back.
Yes, in time for doing our Black History Month moment. We're celebrating Ida B. Wells today. She wrote about issues of race and politics in this is late 1800s, and she became the owner of Memphis Free Speech and Headlight, later known as Free Speech. And so then 1884, there was a lawsuit. She filed suit against a train company in Memphis because she was thrown off a first-class train. She had a ticket. But she refused to move. She's like, listen, I have a ticket, but you got to get out of here. And they ordered her into the other car. She was like, no, I have a first class ticket. I'm Ida B. Wells. I'm going to sit here.
Yeah.
And they forcibly removed her. And it's actually kind of very interesting. It reminds me of a story that happened up here in Napa recently, where these Black women were kicked off of a wine train. They were like, oh, you ladies are being too loud.
You're
Unfortunately, they
kidding.
didn't realize that one of the women was like a high class lawyer. And so she sued the wine train and won. But
That train is no longer.
nope.
Yep.
And
Yep.
only these ladies were kicked off. So it's like, again,
Absolutely.
everything. These same things are still happening today.
Yeah.
So she won. She won her settlement. She got a whopping $500 in the circuit court. And then the Tennessee Supreme Court did some whack stuff and they overturned it. So that's when she was like, fine, I'm going to use the power of the pen. So she got to writing. And while working as a journalist and a publisher, she taught at a segregated school in Memphis. She was a critic on the condition of Black-only schools. So she was like, they had this whole entire, even then, this separate but equal thing, but it's like, not equal here.
Right.
But she was also fired from that job. They're like, Ida, you're making too much noise. And she was like, okay, fine, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So then, and this is where her path, this is where the crossover happens with Mary Church Terrell, because they both were friends with Thomas Moss, and Thomas Moss was her friend. 1892, he was lynched, and she was like, we need to do something about this. Remember, he was lynched because he had a store, and the white folks were like, your store is competing with us, and they, had lynched him.
Right.
And she was pretty much skeptical about the reasons Black men and folks were getting lynched. They said she was skeptical about it. So she did some Brene Brown style investigation. And so she went to go investigate for several months, and she was publishing her findings in pamphlets. And so this is the first time people are getting the word out. And it's so, information is so key and so important. We've even seen it today. One of the things with George Floyd is that everybody saw that video for themselves, and so that's how pamphlets were working. It was the Twitter of the day, put it in a pamphlet. I might even start doing some pamphlets today.
Yeah, put it in a pamphlet. I like that. That's a new pamphlet. Yeah.
Put it in a pamphlet, because pillow can only contain so much. That's just pillows are the memes of their day. It's just like a meme.
Exactly.
But a pamphlet. So she wrote several columns in local newspapers, and she an expose in 1892, and it enraged the locals. They were like, we don't like what she's saying. So they burned her press and drove her out of Memphis. But luckily, they were like, oh, let's get her. She was in NYC at the time. So she was like, what are they doing? Good thing I'm up here investigating things. So the threats were so bad that she then were like, this is not for my health and safety. So she moved to Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
From there, she wrote on lynchings in depth for New York Age, African-American newspaper run by former enslaved person T. Thomas Fortune. And then she published a Red Record, which is in 1893. It's personal examinations of lynchings in America. And again, this is the first time people were getting these deep accounts. And then in 1893, she led a boycott of the World's Columbian Exposition. They were upset by the ban on Black exports at the 1893 World Columbian Exposition. So again, she just got to writing. She circulated pamphlets. She had a pamphlet called "The Reason Why the Colored American is Not in the World's Columbian Exposition." Again, just the Twitter of the day. She was funded and supported by Frederick Douglass. We'll be learning a little bit about him later on.
Mm-hmm.
And she was joining many of the other Black leaders. In 1895, she married famous African lawyer Ferdinand Barnett, and they had 4 kids. She also was traveling internationally, spreading the gospel of America's messed up. It's really racist over here. They're murdering people. People are like, oh, we didn't know that. Right. She also openly confronted the white women in the suffrage movement. She was like, y'all are not talking about lynching. And they're like, what? Mm-hmm. And so the white women's suffrage movement did not take a liking to her. And so she was like, fine, I'm out of this.
Great.
So
my own.
She is one of the founders of the National Association of Colored Women's Club, along with her friend, Mary Church Terrell, who we learned about yesterday. And she was also there at the Niagara Falls for the founding of the NAACP, but she wasn't mentioned as an official founder. So there was some drama and politics there. But and she continued to work on behalf of all women. She was also part of the crew who called for President Woodrow Wilson to put an end to discriminatory hiring practices for government jobs. In 1898, she brought her anti-lynching campaign to the White House, leading a protest and calling on then President William McKinley to make reforms. And then in 1930, she made an unsuccessful bid for the Illinois State Senate. But just love the like,
she would have been
she
so
would
good
be
in
the
this.
person you would want, right? Because she was doing the work. And then she died of kidney disease on March 25th, 1931, at the age of 68 in Chicago.
Look at that.
Ida B. Wells.
Yes. Bad.
I know what you want to say because that's in my podcast when I talked about her. That's exactly how I described her.
Exactly what you said. Yeah, a rock star. We're gonna go with
rock
all
star.
The rock stars,
Just
the most rock star. Yeah.
Just such a rock star.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Ida B. Wells, we salute you.
Sure do. Yeah.
And Renee, with that, I turn over to you. Would you like to take us into our next segment? What would you do?
Nothing more. We're going to play a What Would You Do game, wherein we will give you something that's going on in the news or something that happened to us, and we'll have you guys tell us, well, what would you do? Wait, Jim, now I can't remember. What did we say at the beginning of the show that we were going to put in What Would You Do? This is not good.
Okay, I remember. And the situation, the scenario, this came up earlier. What would you do? You're working from home and you have a coworker who repeatedly doesn't turn on their camera, but you work in a virtual workspace. If you were in the office, they wouldn't put a blanket over their face or turn off all the lights and run around in the dark or a brown paper bag over their face. What would you do? A coworker refuses to turn their camera on. What would you do?
What would you do? What would you? Okay, I want to tease that. I want to do that one at the end, but don't let me forget. Don't let us leave this segment without doing that. For right now, I'm going to warm us up. Okay. I'm gonna take the stage.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You guys, the Oscar nominations came out. Big deal. So we have our very first his and her Oscar nominations. Have you heard about this?
No, who?
Very exciting. So Kristen Dunst is married to Jesse Plemons. So I think everyone is pretty familiar with Kristen Dunst because she's been around forever and ever. Jesse Plemons, I first knew of him from Friday Night Lights. He was also Breaking Bad, and he is a phenomenal actor. So they both got nominated for an Oscar for the same movie.
Oh, wow. He's also in that amazing episode of Black Mirror where it's kind of Star Trek-y. It's a really good one. But Friday Night Lights. No, it's a big
It's true. It's true. So I haven't seen this yet. But they're both in the movie The Power of the Dog, and they both got nominated for Best Supporting Actress and Actor, which is crazy to me. That's insane. I'm sure the performances are worthy of such a thing. But my question is, what would you do if not only did you get your very first, because both of them, it's their first Oscar nominations, your very first Oscar nomination, and your partner got one too? Like, how does the brain even start to compute that much excitement?
Is this Kristen Dunst's first Oscar nom? I thought did she get nominated for Interview with a Vampire, or people just loved her in it? Did she not get a nomination?
True. This article seems to think it's their Dunst, and now showing the official reaction. Great question. Okay, so let's leave that to be found out. We'll see.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Kirsten Dunst Oscar nominations. But I am like, what would you do if you got nominated and your partner got nominated?
Oh, well, we would celebrate. We'd do a little dance. We'd probably do like some sort of Instagram post. We're so great. We were definitely wearing matching outfits.
Right.
Thinking sort of Justin, Brittany at the MTV VMAs with a matching jean sort of outfit. Yeah. We're doing something like that. We're definitely wearing matching outfits. That's definitely for sure.
I'll take that. The internet seems to think it's our first nomination.
Well, that's a travesty. I can't believe she wasn't nominated for Interview with the Vampire. I thought she was, and she was like the youngest actress at the time to get nominated for Interview with the Vampire. Are you spelling it right? Did you spell it with Kit Kat? Did you spell it Kit Kat nomination?
Yeah, everybody's saying first time nomination for Kirsten Dunst.
Huh.
and also for Jesse. So I think it's very exciting. You are handling this so well. My head would explode off my body,
Does your
But
partner
yes, go ahead.
your partner also got nominated and you're
Yeah.
like, no, it's just me? Or are you like, what if they win and you don't? Is that Sam?
No, I bet you were the same way. I get more excited for other people than I do for myself. So, but then also, I would get excited for so I wouldn't be able to like handle both things at once. It would
Oh.
absolutely I can't handle such a thing. Yes. I would yeah.
Well, this does remind me of Kerry Russell and what's his name? They both were in The Americans. Kerry Russell, and I forget the guy who stars opposite of Kerry Russell in The Americans, but they both were nominated. The Americans was such a great show. It's about like Russian sleeper Cold War. This family is these Russian spies that and the kids don't know that their parents are these Russian sleeper spies,
Right.
and that they're here in this country. Really great, interesting show. Anyways, her performance is so good in that, her and the guy, but they both would be nominated for an Emmy, and he won and she didn't. And but they're together in real life. So they had a his or her Emmy
Sure.
nomination situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see how that goes. Well, we did get Kristen's reaction. I feel clearly you would handle it calmly and rationally. But here is the quote. And if you guys want to read along, you're more than welcome to. Eric, her agent, called me and said that I was nominated. So I'm crying with my kids. And they're like, why is mom crying? Oh, sure. Here's what happened. I was reading from an article, and the article started to play audio. And so now,
Oh, I've had that happen to me before.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna need this to stop so that I can stay focused. um, so I started screaming and whatever, and he was like, Jesse, and I started screaming and I hung up the phone. And then Megan, my publicist, called me and she's trying to tell me, and I just screamed at her. And then I called Jesse, and I was the first person to tell him, and he was shell shocked. I mean, it was just so crazy. Right? It's just fun.
I
It's
love
just
that.
okay.
That's good.
You could not be more underwhelmed, and I think I do need you to dial it up a little. I feel
Oh
like
my god, this is so
normally
amazing. Like, I can't believe this. Like, oh
ugh,
my
never mind. All right,
god.
moving on to yours.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Renee,
That's
here's the thing you're gonna learn. I'm
yeah.
so sorry. I'm
Yeah.
not yucking your yum. I
A
just
little bit.
you have to prepare me if you're gonna do a segment. You're like, I'm really
Yeah.
excited about this, and I
I need
need
you
you
to flip
to
out. Okay.
need you to flip out. Here's what
Okay.
it is. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about the Oscars anyways. So I'm coming
This makes
in
sense.
with
Okay.
a wall. With
Yep.
these award shows, they have issues.
Yep.
There's not enough women in the there's not enough women and people of color who are in the voting
Yep.
academy. It's always just I the
Yeah.
Golden
No,
Globes, all of it. I kind of take it with a grain of salt. It's fun. I like to look
right.
who's nominated and
Right.
stuff, but I don't know. Like, I'm still bitter from that Moonlight situation.
No,
That
I
was
get
so
it.
rough.
I get it. You have every
So
reason to be. And now I want to take the entire segment back. This makes perfect sense. I think I was looking at it from a very, very narrow lens of look at this couple having a good day and not the bigger picture. In which case, then you are right. Your
but this
reaction is
is
more good for
cute
them.
and exciting. I also haven't seen the movie too, so I'm not like that,
Fair.
invested into
Yeah.
it. But there were definitely some snubs. I mean, I the way Lady Gaga had been campaigning for months, you would have thought she was going to get. I mean, she thought she was such a shoo-in, and she was already doing, different. She always says a quote during Oscar season that something that's like she just is what those people like, and I think I would be the same way. She wants you to know her process and how
Mhm.
much she prepares, and
Mhm.
she was like, I was so engrossed in the role of Patrizia that flies were following me around. It was Patrizia. That's how, there's that story
Yeah.
about there were a swarm of flies who kept following her, and she was like, it's Patrizia. I have to get her out of my body. There can be
Yeah.
99 people in a room who don't believe in you, but all you need is one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that you're 100% Correct. You're right. All right. Well, a snub is a snub. Do you have a what would you do for me?
I have one. I have two actually.
All right.
All right,
Hear it.
let's go to this. Let's go to this meteor one first.
Okay.
So, this came from a Redditor, and they wrote. So, this is the situation, y'all. What would you do? We're curious. Way back in 2020, in October 2020, this guy says my roommate and I booked a gay sailing cruise for Bora Bora in April 2021. The cost of the cruise plus flights was nearly $5,000. It's a small sailing catamaran with 12 gay guys on it. And at the time, I was single. Come April 2021, the borders are still closed, so the sailing date got moved to April 2022.
Okay.
Well, the cruise is coming up, and I now have a boyfriend of about 3 months. We got into an argument tonight over me going on this cruise. It's non-refundable at this point, and I also don't want to cancel on my roommate. He's upset. He thinks that I'm gonna meet somebody else or better. And I completely understand where he's coming from, but honestly, I'm not sure what I should be doing. Any suggestions on the situation? Should I cancel or lose out on the $5,000, maybe even upset my roommate? What would you do? What would you do?
I think you have to address the feelings first and
Yeah.
then move on. So the other guy is feeling insecure in the relationship. I think you just have to have a really candid conversation of either no, this is something and we're going to be together, or I don't know what's going to happen. And if I find someone else, then I'm not your person. And you deserve somebody who knows they want to be with you. And
Yeah.
I'm not that person. So I think you either have to assure them. Well, I think you got three choices. You can assure them that absolutely nothing is going to happen and make them feel confident in the relationship. You can say, I don't know what's going to happen. Either I will come back and this will make it stronger. And if you're willing to wait, great. Or you can say, I'm not that far along and I'm going to cut ties because you deserve to be with someone who knows they want to be with you.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Dang, Renee. we go to the relationship stuff. Renee's like, I got this. Okay,
I got
so
this.
here's what
I
you're
got
gonna do.
I got this.
Wow.
And I
yeah,
do. Let me check with my husband. He's not here. I'm so sick. I don't know how to do anything.
I had a moment of like, oh yeah, Renee, check with your. Oh no, he's not there.
Yeah,
because you check with things, but it's usually your dog or the dog walker.
Nope, exactly. I outsource all the help I need.
Yeah. Okay. So I think definitely here's what I would say. This I don't know if they're listening, but don't cancel your trip. You've already been dating for 3 months. You already planned this. If Dollface have taught us anything, don't abandon your friends, especially when you start a new relationship. Like, this is your roommate, this is your friend. You all made this commitment. Like, go on it. It is also $5,000 and you just started dating. This relationship could also not go anywhere and you would have wished that you had gone on this trip. You're surviving a pandemic. Give yourself this gift. Do it. Stay vaxxed, stay boosted. Hopefully that's all taken care of minimum. But I think Renee's right. You just have an honest conversation with them and let them know. And maybe you set up a rule for yourself of just like, you understand what you both are comfortable with and setting up those rules and setting up realistic expectations. If you think that you can be in this monogamous space for this trip, then commit to that. If you need some sort of, okay, you're allowed to smooch somebody, but just set up rules that you feel like you can honestly set yourself up for success, that you can meet. Maybe it's just like, hey, what happens on this trip stays on this trip, and we'll pick up. We're still early on this relationship. We'll pick up where we begin when you get back. So
perfect advice.
Yeah. It's not like you just like we're already dating this person. If you were dating this person and then booked this trip, then that would be you don't want to be in this relationship and didn't invite them. But this is from your old life, and I think they'll have to decide if that's going to be okay with them, and they might say no. They're like, no, this isn't going to be okay with me, and that's fine. Still go on the trip.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I really, really believe in this in practice. I have no opportunity to put it into play in practicality, but I just think there's so much comfort in making it so simple of like, you're just not their person. Great. We don't need to him and haw over it. We don't need to do anything. You deserve to be with someone who knows they want to be with you. And that is the line. And if they don't, great, it's not your person. Walk away. That's easy.
Fine. That's it.
She said in theory.
And Yeah, it's one of the things I can read in the book, and there you
Yeah.
go. All right, Renee, our last what would you do? We're just gonna circle back to the thing we put a pin in it.
Yes.
Again, your
Yes.
coworker. Your coworker refuses to turn off their camera even though you're working as a virtual workspace.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do?
What was you know what this it's the reason that I got so ruffled about this is because here's my practical story of it. So all throughout the pandemic, the men are wearing ball caps on the Zoom. And
Yeah.
I got a little note of, hey, I know. So I think I'm already feeling
You got a note? Give
note.
me the name and
I know.
address. Get on uppers. Get ready. We're gonna write angry letters. Do you have their address, Renee? Do you have their
And
address?
it was casual. It was casual of just like we
No,
just
that's
to
not
know that we are still in a professional environment. Because I was wearing a ball
No.
cap every day. Of
You
course I
get to
was.
wear. Yes.
I know.
Why? You should absolutely. I just want your camera. I don't care what you look like. I don't
All right,
care.
that's fair.
Well, to be fair,
that came up
I
is
don't
we need a
care what
ring
you look
light.
like, but get a ring light. I need to see your face.
I
That's
see.
what it is.
Okay. You just want it to be
your
lit.
face.
Okay. All right. That I can work with.
That's it.
I just want to see
Okay.
you. Okay. Turn the lights on.
Lighting. Turn the lights. That's it. Turn your camera on. Turn the lights on.
Okay.
And that's what you're saying. And to be fair, absolutely, Doug. Thank you for pointing this out. For some people who maybe are visually impaired or they're blind or can't see, that's not going to matter as much. So that's true. That is true. I guess I just think that for myself, I am a very visual person. And so being able to connect with somebody, I have a coworker who just never, and it feels like I'm just talking to, and like it just helps for me for that connection. So that would be
sure. No, and
that would be my request.
Can understand preference of that. This doesn't apply to Zoom, but I'm somebody who always wants the curtains open. I just like natural sunlight in the room, and it drives people nuts. Like when we go to the hotel room, I'm like, no, you because I want the sun to wake me up, and they were like, "Are you kidding me?" Just like sun. I want it to be bright in here.
Oh, the sun just wakes me up. So sun kiss. Yes. I think that's right. And I think too, my word of advice for folks, if you are doing a lot of stuff from home and you're on video a lot, get a ring light, because if you are turning your camera so people can see you, the things that you say will hit even harder. It's presentation at this point. It is now, part of the presentation, part of all those different things there. And is your ring light fall?
I put it on the brightest setting just to try to appease you. Is that okay? It's very bright.
I want to see your phone. No, Renee, turn it down. Renee, stop it. Oh my gosh, this woman. Oh, this woman. I love her so much. All right, Renee, we're halfway through the show. For those, well, we're more than halfway through the show. Wow, we're just taking our sweet time today.
I like it. I think it's fun. I like meandering show. Yeah.
All right, so we're halfway through the show, or more than halfway through. For the late comers, you are watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee right here on Backchannel. You can open up your Echo device every 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific time, or 8 to 10. I'm not doing the full roll call.
No, you can do it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself.
8
to
10 to 10 Mountain Time, and then we have 11 to 1.
Sure. 9, I think 9 to 11, maybe, for Central.
Oh, yeah. Where did I just show? All right. Then we have people never, whatever time you showed up here, that's what will be here. 9 to 11 Central Time. And then 10 to noon Eastern Time. Why don't I write this down? Sarah, please help me write this down on a run a show. That it's just there. Anyways, you can also leave us a review by going to www.backchannel.tv. Let us know how much you love the show. And now it's time for This Has Potential. Standard time. You are absolutely right, Doug. Standard time.
Wait, standard time is Central Time?
No, I think it's like the ST. So it's like PST. I tend to stay away from standard time because it changes depending on daylight savings. Not all states do it, like Arizona. And so I like to just stick to
PST. I get it. Oof.
But maybe that doesn't matter. I don't know.
No, I think it probably does. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So we are 7 to 9 standard time, but put
No,
the P in front of it so that you know it doesn't change at daylight savings.
no, because there's PT and then there's PST,
Oh, boy,
Pacific
that's too many.
Standard Time, and then Pacific Time, and sometimes it's PST, and it's because after daylight savings. I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
a
Yeah.
farmer.
No,
I don't
it's
keep
too
up to date.
confusing. It's too confusing. Okay. All right. Point is, we're going into a segment called This Has Potential, including but not limited to Renee and Jam figuring out the time zones in America. It's got potential.
Uh-huh.
We're
It does have
trying. We're
potential. It
showing effort.
does. Yeah, we are. We are. Yes, yes.
I am so scared to do mine based off the foolery that I did in the previous segment. So I just want to get mine out of the way. I just want to get it out of the
Okay.
way. And I'm
Is it about
sorry.
the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's not that I hate them. I just won't be in
Yeah.
my dress and tuxedo for
No, I've
it.
learned a
That's
lot.
all.
I've genuinely and sincerely learned a lot in
Yeah,
this.
I'm sure the get on uppers care. This is, so
No,
don't just play to me. Don't just play to
no,
me. It's fine.
still.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
guys.
get some coffee.
Yeah, you go get some coffee. Get on uppers. You and I. Listen, honestly, get on uppers. If you also want to give me a little smack on the hand, a little scolding, I'd be like, you shouldn't care so much. Okay, so here's what I got. Lin-Manuel Miranda, we love him. He wrote Encanto. He was nominated for an Oscar, which means he's one step closer to an EGOT.
Ooh, I love
So
that.
you
I
do
love
care about that.
that.
Okay, so
I
an
love an
EGOT
EGOT
is
because it's not just about the Oscars.
thank you. Someone who has been nominated or who has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. EGOT, Emmy, Grammy,
Mhm.
Oscar, Tony. So he's got maybe we'll be getting this Oscar. He's got the Grammy and he's got the Tony, plenty of them. He needs an extra shelf for the amount of Grammys and Tonys that he has won. So he's one step closer. Very exciting. I feel like maybe he did win an Emmy. Hold on just a
That
second.
was
Point
very
is,
good.
what's interesting about this nomination is, do you know the song that it was nominated for in Encanto? Do you want to take a guess?
It wasn't We Need to Talk About Bruno, which
No.
I was surprised. It was some other
No.
song, and I'm like, I don't know that song. I
Yeah.
don't remember the
And the
song.
way that happens is that you have to submit it before you get the public reaction to it. So they didn't know that We Don't Talk About Bruno was going to
It's
be
gonna be
as
the
successful
smash
as
hit. I
it was.
bet they're like, ooh, wish we had submitted that one instead.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. They're
Mm.
like this. Lynn said that the song that was nominated is the first song that's ever made his wife cry. So,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
that's very nice. So this has potential. It's just that Lynn may be on his way to an EGOT, which is very exciting.
Well, and
Yeah.
I want to get an EGOT, which is an Emmy, a Golden Globe, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Yeah, that's very
So
funny.
that's what
Okay.
that's what I
All
want.
right. I think you will.
Cynthia and Revo is close to getting an EGOT as well.
She deserves it.
She's very close. I think she
Which one
just
is
needs
it?
the Oscar. I think she just needs the Oscar.
She'll get it. I
Oh, yeah.
think Cynthia's up for both The Color Purple and Wicked, right?
She's not doing The Color Purple.
She's not.
She's not. I know. And I saw Cynthia. So they're doing The Color Purple, the musical, which I'm incredibly excited about.
Yeah, me too.
I had to tell you, I saw The Color Purple in reverse order. I saw the musical first, and then my
Right.
boyfriend's like, we have to watch the movie. When
Written
you
by
see that
Alice Walker.
musical,
Yeah.
yes. By Alice Walker, exactly. Look at her retaining stuff.
She
The
can retain
musical
them.
is so much closer to the source material of The Color Purple. I felt like the movie was a little too whimsical. The score is a little too fun, and the subject matter is so deep. Whereas the musical really, and there's the queer plot line is completely there in the movie musical, and the musical. Anyways, I saw something at Revo do The Color Purple the day before she won the Tony. Tickets went up the next day, but it was so powerful, and I can't believe I think the woman who played it after her is gonna be playing. So I'm sure she's gonna be fun amazing, but it's not Cynthia. And I think it's because Cynthia's already doing Wicked.
I think so.
Sure she'll get the Oscar for that.
The filming conflicted? Like filming schedule?
Yeah. And when you think about the plotline of Wicked, it makes so sense for a Black woman to be playing Elphaba. The show's about racism.
Yeah.
How are we? Oh, duh! It should have been like it just so many more layers are added to it. When you're like,
but that soundtrack of Cynthia singing Wicked, come on, heaven.
Sorry, Adele Dazeem. Adele Dazeem, who?
I love it. Okay, so that's it. Just this has potential that Lynn might be getting an EGOT soon.
Oh, I love that. Well,
Yeah.
Renee, don't I love you? I love Lin-Manuel.
Okay.
I'm sorry I made you doubt your content.
No, I
Don't please
definitely
don't.
no. I'm just like, let's celebrate these two white people. I get it. I
During
appreciate it,
Black
and
History Month, Renee. I
um,
mean,
but they're a
wait till
couple, and it
April.
was you got to say the term his and
And you
her
know what?
Oscars.
And
Yeah.
and Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I listen, it's great. I love it. I'm sorry, Renee. It was
Well,
great.
I'm gonna
I
think about it the
love your
rest of the
corner.
day.
I don't want there's no shame bell. You're ringing your own shame bell. Put
Thank
the
you.
bell down, Renee.
All right.
You're the one ringing it. Put it down. Put it down.
Fair. Fair. Do you have a this has potential?
You do. All right. Get on uppers and Renee. Do you remember something called the SATs or the ACTs? Do you remember taking them? Did you
Of course. Yeah.
study? Did you do them? Well, soon it'll be possibly a thing of the past because looks like the SATs and the ACTs are out of here in terms of a requirement for college students. So,
Thank
they're yes, absolutely. So if you ever had to take them, you know how stupid they are, how useless they are. They do not really test anything about your
mm,
abilities. So this is happening right now. It first started during the pandemic because students were actually not able to show up to go take these tests. It's very
right.
old, right? You had to physically go into a place,
Yeah.
these
They
Scantron
frown upon
machines.
research. Yeah.
Yes, right. So there's all this, and so um, even students who had already signed up, they were being turned away because they're like, we can't safely conduct these. So then colleges started saying, okay, no SATs or ACTs are needed. And then it was sort of this thing of like, well, then do we need to go back to these? Do we need these to happen again? So universities are even locking in this. Some of them are. So and this makes sense because think about this. Your 3.5 year transcript says so much more than just a
Of course it
3 hour
does.
test. And, some students, they, and for some students who are actually even really, great students still do terrible on this thing
Of course
because
they
it's
do.
just a multiple choice, the environment, it's not really testing for what they think it is, the testing.
Right.
These SATs started coming out of around in the 40s. There were everyone was big on IQ tests. The IQ
Right.
tests were the BuzzFeed tests of the day. So it'd be kind of like if you had to take a BuzzFeed test to get into like college of like, what princess are you? What Disney
Right.
princess are you? Um, and so there was a way because they were trying to figure out of like, well, there's more after the war there were more people of different races trying to go into the universities, and they were like, well, we need to make sure everyone is of the same caliber and the same smarts. So that's how these things started to come in. But as they've grown over time, really SATs have been a barrier for access into universities. So typically white students and wealthier students tend to do better, and also some Asian students as well. But it's like people who have access to the prep material. It's paid to play.
Mhm.
You have to go take the SAT prep courses, which means you have to have the money to be able to do it, or to pay for those courses. And you're studying to take a test, which doesn't make sense. You should be studying for to retain the information and the knowledge and to know your thoughts about it and how to discuss something, not is it A, B, C, or D. Right?
Right.
That's fine for our morning quiz show. That's
Yeah.
cute. But
Right.
not for life. Not for what you need to be doing out in your life. So what's nice about this is it's actually coming at perfect timing because if you remember, we talked about that affirmative action is more than likely going to be struck down by the Supreme Court. There's a case that's coming up, and so that looked like it would be limiting, more diverse campuses. And colleges want diverse campuses because they know everyone succeeds. It just is a better. Which I'm like, go off colleges. We love that. Like
Mhm.
let's get they want everyone there, so they're also looking at this a way that they can continue to make sure that their campuses stay open and diverse for everyone to be able to attend. So Harvard is not accepting the SATs. They're like, no, you don't have to. You can
That's
submit it if you want.
amazing. Yeah, but
Harvard.
that's
So
amazing.
it's like, well, if Harvard's not accepting it, then all the other universities are like, oh, well, then if Harvard's not, then why are we? And
On
yeah,
yeah.
no, what were you
Uh,
gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's what we needed for the rest of the dominoes to fall, is for like the golden child to be like, no, we're not doing that. And then everybody else can be like,
Right.
well, if Harvard's not doing it, then it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And that's exactly it, because then students are looking at like, well, why am I going to apply to go to this school if they're making me take this stupid test that I have to put all this energy and effort into? I could be living my life or actually studying for my actual courses, instead of just trying to get some score on this test that like will not matter.
Right.
And so there are some schools that are doing test blind, as opposed to test optional, so you can submit it, but it's not a requirement. And so then what some students are doing is if they do well, they'll then submit it with their application. If they don't do well, they won't submit it. So they're kind of, I just think like still
Yeah.
why take it.
Rather
But
that,
then what's happening?
yeah.
But then it's going to skew it, because only the students with the high school, no one's going to turn it in. That's like, oh, I got an 800.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're not gonna, turn theirs in.
They need to
And
just-
even my beloved University of California system, which includes UC Berkeley, UCLA, UCSC, they're not accepting it either. And they're some of the top public
Great.
universities in the nation. So
Fantastic.
really big. And the California State University system is also expected to follow suit, as well. So they're going to test this out. A lot of the universities are just going to test this out for the next 4 years and pretty much see, will they see a decrease in college student test scores? Will they see a decrease in, or will they see an increase in dropout because students are not really ready or prepared? My hunch is that will not be the case, that this test was completely bogus.
I'll hypothesize that you're going to start to see brilliance, the likes of which you have never seen, because you have eliminated this very narrow gauge of testing. So highly, highly intelligent people who just didn't do well in a standardized test because they are intelligent and creative will now be able to get in. I think you're about to see some amazing things happen. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love
Some
it.
universities are even seeing an increase in the diversity in candidates that are applying to their university because, like you said, this barrier of entry is no longer there. So
this is the best news. This is also such a good example of like how people feel about things. Either you have to go through it because I did, or you wait, hold on. What's the second part? Oh my God.
Yeah. Or you don't, because it was stupid and no one should have to.
Right. But it's the like, I went through it so you don't have to. I went through it so you also have to.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I went through it so, I'm thrilled about this. I think that's great. Yeah.
Yep. Put it in a pamphlet. We want to see it. Let's get it out to everybody. Put it in a pamphlet.
Jim, I am going to ask a favor.
What's up?
Is there any way we can go to the next segment just because I love it so much?
Yes, we're going. I'm going to say I have another news story, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow because it's also thriving. So that's totally fine. Look at Renee bursting at the seam to get to Wyland or working it.
I just love it so much. I just love it so much. And I wanted to make sure we had time for it. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Well, do you want to set us up since we're here, or?
Yes, I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more. So Wyland or working it is where
I just want to show. Renee's like, can we go to the next segment? I'm like, yeah, we're here. You're like, great.
Coasting. Just because you do it so well that I want to, you get it. I've seen myself take the lead. I know I'm capable of it, but I think I'm good at observing. Oh, if my partner is better at it than I am, then I will let him. Then I will let them do such a thing. I've seen myself do it though. I know I could.
Great. We love you. You're doing so great. All right. Wyland or working it. It's a game. Y'all get ready to play.
It's very exciting. So Wyland or working it is basically the concept of we're going to tell you a story about someone and you let us know if they're Wyland, meaning that's nuts, or they're working it, which, that seems right. That seems like a natural reaction to such a thing. That seems like you were using this situation in a way that is smart.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You feel okay about that? Yep. Okay.
Yep. That's it. Yep. Okay. So you go just into your device. You can say real simple. You'll say Wyland or you'll say working it. You got those two options. Super easy to do. Say into your device or type it along if you're watching us on the YouTube live stream.
Yes. I would love to tell you about a Adele impersonator that's happening in Vegas, and I am curious if she is whiling it or working it. So this is kind of a follow-up story. Adele, of course, was going to have a huge, long residency in Vegas, but had to cancel at the last second. So there is a show. It's a long-standing show. It's been around forever. The legendary Divas show at the Tropicana has been around forever.
Oh, I've been to that show before. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
It's so great. So the legendary Diva show in the Tropicana has been there forever. They have not had an Adele impersonator until this all happened, and they very quickly held auditions to be like, "Hey, you can still see Adele. Do you want to still see Adele?" So this very, very talented singer, her name is Renee Longo, thought, I think this might be my chance. I think I might. She, at this point, did not have an Adele impression, but she worked on it. She was like, I think I can get there. I think I can do it. Turns out she is phenomenal. It is, if you close your eyes, you're like, no, that's Adele. It's wild. So tickets are actually, it's going pretty well. Everybody was going to go see.
People have been wanting to see Adele in Vegas. They want to see her.
Yes. So I don't want to make the actress dumb, because I think the actress was just like, I'm talented. It was an audition. It was the thing. So I want to say, is the Tropicana while in or working it to sort of skew their promotion to come see Adele in Vegas. She's here.
We still got her in that, because there's some people who maybe they weren't able to cancel their tickets. They're like, well, let's go anyways. And like, they're like, well, we can see an Adele.
Exactly.
It's not the Adele. It is an Adele.
So I guess the question is imitation the highest form of flattery, or is this sort of insult to injury? Let's say, or I guess,
what do you?
Yeah, while in or
is that the question? Yeah, while in or working, Renee.
Is the Tropicana while in or working it to really capitalize on Adele canceled, but we've got her?
Yeah, we have Adele. I think they're working it. I think they're working the moment, and I think it. I love it. There's two stories that we are heavily tracking. Adele and Joe Rogan, and I love that this keeps coming back because you broke the news here first. I think that they're working it, and it just goes to show, again, as we've been tracking the story, more has come out that Adele is maybe going through some like relationship stuff. We're also in the middle of the pandemic. She does owe us like nothing, but at the same time, this business is a business,
right,
and it's hers to lose, right? And I think the Tropicana is doing a great. I think it's smart. Capitalize on it, and some people are gonna get an Adele experience, so the show must go on. And the show's going on without Adele, and I think that is it's kind of funny.
It's very
even
funny.
Doug says working it. See, I'm on the same Doug, we're on the same page. Working it.
Now,
They're working on it.
Curious about, and they did not give indication to, in this Divas concert, there has to be interstitial scripts that just like, and now is there, are they doing a little bit of a wink to the audience? Is there a little bit of an acknowledgement? I'm curious. Or do they just play it like, no, this is legendary Divas. I am Adele. I don't know what you're thinking.
Oh yeah, no, they do it legend. Oh no. There's no wink. They're like, this is Britney, this is Celine Dion, this is it's like a magic show. They're trying to fool you, and you spent the $20, or a lot of times you can get these tickets for free because they just want you. They're trying to put butts in seats, and then they'll just charge you $1 million for drinks.
Spill out into the casino.
Yeah. So I definitely So but they're like, oh no, they're trying to make you believe that this is for real. So
but you liked it. The show was good when you saw it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was drunk at 10 a.m. What do I know? And actually, it might not have been that one. I might have seen a drag queen one. So I don't know if it was this one. There is a drag queen one that's like celebrity impersonators. So but it was really great. They were some are better than others. Some it's like she's been doing the show for decades, which is fine. But maybe
we're happy for it. I get it. Maybe we want to switch out who you're impersonating.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Got it. Okay.
Hand the reins of Britney over somebody else is what I would say. Right.
Completely fair. Okay, so we think that both the Tropicana and this actress Janine Longo is working it.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Renee Longo. Sorry,
Renee Longo. Okay. Well, congratulations, Renee. All right, Teresa, just in time to join us for Wildin' or Working It. We've got some stories. You're going to help us decide, is this person wildin' or working it? Or business entity is the Tropicana we have decided is working it. All right. So Sean Penn recently did an interview and so she kind of went on a rant about men and stated, I'm in the club that believes that men in American culture have become wildly feminized. I don't think that in order to be fair to women, we should become them. And so that's what he said. But Thandie Newton had this tweet to say in response. So one actress, Thandie Newton, we love her so much, so great. She put at Sean Penn, cry face emoji, like laughing cry sideways emoji, laughing cry sideways emoji times. She said, dude, what are you capital saying? Like for real, capital. You're a gibbering fool. MF, you used to be sexy, but now you're just tragic. Huff emoji. Men for becoming feminized. Wow. And then she goes on to do another tweet in front of your daughter, that poor little mite. Thank God her mom's so dope. Please stop ruining the brilliance of licorice pizza with this nonsense. Do we think Thandie Newton is wildin' or working for calling Sean Penn out about his essentially toxic masculinity and doing it so publicly using her platform? What do we think?
Yeah. Say what he said again, just so that we can.
Yeah, so Sean Penn, this is her in response to Sean Penn said, I'm in the club that believes that men in American culture become wildly feminized. I don't think in order to be fair to women, we should become them. And Thandie Newton is like, dude, what are you talking about? This is heartbreaking. I was essentially like, she's like, I'm a fan. And, he's also Licorice Pizza's doing the Oscar nomination campaigning thing. And she's like, you did a great job of that movie, but this is not helping. Please stop talking.
That's too. I'm sorry to hear that happened. No, he's absolutely wild. Thandie is correct.
Is she working it?
Yeah, she's working it. She's 100% working it. But I think you hit the nail on the head where like this is toxic masculinity, and like you just want to sit him down and be like, honey, what's going on? Why can't masculinity be fluid? Why does that have to be assigned to men? Just help me understand. Like answer that for me. Why? And I think it'll get down to, because I am, my worth is being compromised if I am not. And he's like, no, you can open the gate. You can be whatever you want to be.
I'm so curious. I haven't read the full interview. I don't know how this came up in conversation. If they're just like, it was just like, what was it like shooting Licorice Pizza? Well, I'm in the camp that men are too ladylike. And like, how does that, I don't know how that like, comes up. And I think this just kind of goes with and this is going to happen to us. I think it's important to evolve with the times, and I think that's what we're just kind of not seeing, that you have to evolve with the times, as we should. There are things that we as human beings are not doing anymore that we used to do 5,000 years ago.
100%. Yeah.
Let's keep growing with it. Things change. I know change can be scary, but like lean in, lean in.
You just got to say, and I think you're going to, like, you saw it live and in action on this show today. I came in being like, look at these two white people who got nominated for an Oscar. And it didn't occur. I was like, oh, right. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be the headline. And we shouldn't care about his and hers is adorable. But there's reasons why that's actually, you should think about why maybe that's not the headline.
But it is adorable, Renee. I think it is really cute. It's great. I think it's so cool.
Say all that as a practice to what I would love Sean Penn to do is be like, oh, I said this thing, have someone present to him why that thing was problematic, and then be like, oh, yeah. And then it can that's all you have to do is say, oh, thank you for teaching me. Great.
Yep. Well, and to go on with Sean Penn, he and like many people in the industry and just men in general, he has a history of alleged abuse as well. That this always gets pushed to the back burner when he comes up, which also so tragic because he was so great in Milk. He was just so great, and also it's weird because it was like, well, you were playing a gay man in Milk, smooching James Franco. I just don't understand. It seems like you would be so much more fluid with your idea of what masculinity and all these constructs are. So I don't know.
People continue multitudes. And I also think once you've had the height of success, you have such a death grip on maintaining it. And so once you start to feel irrelevant, you can either say, oh, thank you for teaching me, or you can double down. that's sad. I'm sorry that he said it, but I think the reaction is appropriate. That's what I think.
Yep. Do you have? I have another violin or working it.
Yeah, do your whiling. Because
Okay.
mine would
All
be
right.
I would pull from my this has potential. So I would be
Okay.
shoehorning it in.
Okay. All right.
I think
Okay.
I can
Cool.
do it. Yeah.
All right. So we have, is this person wilding or working it? And we're talking about Queen Elizabeth II. Y'all, we are going to pass judgment on the Queen.
Okay.
Is the Queen wilding or working it? Here is the scenario. Here's the scenario, and people have some strong opinions about this. So she is 95, and she issued a statement recently reflecting on her years of the throne and thanking people of their support. Now, just a little history. So when she became, after her father died, she became queen. Her late husband was not titled king. He was titled Prince Philip, right? That's just kind of what they did. There's only always one queen and one king, and the other one, based on the bloodline, you'll kind of default. So he was never King Philip, her husband. He was just Prince Philip. So she's 95, which is amazing. This woman has, think about how many presidents she's outlived, and like she's been through so much since like World War II. Like, this woman.
Yeah.
But is she wilding or working with this comment? So remember, people love Princess Diana, right? And so Charles is he's married to Camilla, who is princess consort. I think that happens when you're like the second wife. I don't know why she's princess consort. I'm not British, but Camilla is married to Charles, and she's princess consort. It took people a long time to warm up to Camilla because they love Diana.
Yeah.
But apparently Camilla's doing her thing. She's, rolling up her sleeves and doing, I don't really get the whole entire British royalty thing. I think it's a waste of tax dollars, but whatever. She's doing the things that they needed her to do. And also racist Meghan Markle, our black princess that they were wiling against.
Yeah.
But the Queen, she said, so she said recently, she said, and when in the fullness of my time, and when in the fullness of my time, my son Charles becomes king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you gave me. And it is my sincere wish that when this time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own royal service. People are upset. They're like, this is a slap in the face, Diana. Like, how dare she? She should still say princess consort, similar to like Prince Philip. Is she wilding or working? Weigh in on British royalty.
I don't care, is my honest response. It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, especially after Meghan Markle. Like, no, guys, absolutely, I don't care. So, Wylan.
Wow, you just put the mirror back up to me. This is like I'm having a his and hers Oscar moment. You're so right. What am I caring about? They've been so faulty to Meghan Markle, and here I am like, you're right, Renee. The answer is, who cares?
Who cares? I think the answer is Wylan. And I think both of us have been victim to the news sort of brainwashing us into be like, you should care about this. This is important. Yeah. I don't know. You guys all seem to be fine. Is the check clearing? All right, then you're fine. It doesn't matter. You're fine.
I also am just sort of like, I'm so over the monarchy. Not that I have anything to deal with it, but it's just, again, it seems like a waste of tax dollars. I just don't understand. Like, it doesn't. I have a better one. Can I do a better one? Can I do a better one?
Wait, as I'm looking at my what am I watching? I think that's actually a while in or working it. So I have one after you, or I go and then you can go.
Okay, all right. So as we know, it is still Janet Jackson Appreciation Week, especially Janet Jackson Appreciation Day is coming. It's the same day as the Puppy Bowl. Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. Don't watch the Super Bowl. Watch Janet Jackson documentaries or music videos. So Janet Jackson recently, and people are like finally waking up of like, Justin Timberlake's a monster. Like, he's thrown Britney under the bus. We all watched it, but we were so entranced in patriarchy that we didn't realize, like him saying when his girlfriend had lost her virginity or just was being, doing his Cry Me a River video, left Janet like out for dry when he pulled the wrong part of her outfit
Mhm.
and left her exposed out there, and just, his career bounced back, hers didn't.
Mhm.
So people have a lot of venom for Justin these days, right? And Janet came out, says Janet Jackson Weiland are working it with these comments here. She said, I'm going to do a Janet Jackson voice for you.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, this whole thing was blown way out of proportion. And of course, it was an accident that should have never happened. But everyone is looking for someone to blame, and that's got to stop. Justin and I are very good friends, and we will always be very good friends. We just spoke a few days ago, and he and I have moved on, and it's time for everyone else to do the same. Now, is Janet wildin', or is she working it?
I think she's working it in the effect of like, let it go. That is not my identity. That is not my thing. That is, I have the whole other thing that I want you to pay attention to. I think she's working it
decades of music, like 4 decades of music.
Yeah, that
movie
this is
career,
not
TV shows.
please don't put this on my epitaph. It's just
wardrobe malfunction on her tombstone, please. So you're so right. You're so right. And Doug agrees. She's working it. I'm gonna do something. I think okay, my higher self knows that she's working it, but my die-hard fan who's like her, like when it's like your best friend when like their boyfriend is really messed up, they forgive them, but you don't. And so my lower self is like, girl, you wildin'. I am not done with this man. You can forgive him, but I won't. I see you, Justin. I see you. And I'm sorry I did a flash mob tribute to you and I taught people your choreography, and I'm sorry I ever did that.
Yeah. No, that I think I am aligned in that. And then it makes you wonder, just like, what did he guilt trip you into? Just like, oh man, I'm so. Here's you want to know who I want to hear from? Justin. That's who I want to be saying this.
Yeah.
I would like for there to be a very public apology.
And then we can decide if he's wild or working in his apology.
How much does he mean it? Yeah. So yeah, I think she's working it given the circumstance. We're just like, can we let this go, please?
Yeah. All right. Okay. She's going high. I'm going low.
Speaking of exploiting women, do you want to hear mine?
Yes, I do.
That I have now decided I have. Okay. So what I was going to say is during my watching it, there's a new show on Hulu called Pam and Tommy, Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, telling the story about.
I want to see it. You sold me on it a few weeks ago. You were like, I'm thirsty for this. And you were like, everyone watch. I'll be tuning in. You were. You sold us on it. I want you to watch,
but now I've got new information about it. Pamela Anderson has nothing to do with this. She's not an executive producer. She's nowhere involved in it at all. So there is the thing of like, we're just bringing this back up for her. All of this stuff that got buried, we're bringing back up. Hold on, I have 2 points to this. So I think in the impeachment show on when they did the Monica Lewinsky
FX, she was involved.
She was involved. She was an executive producer. It made you feel good about it. So the fact that Pamela Anderson is not involved in this is questionable. However, it is directed by Blake Lively. And I don't know if you remember in 2014 when there was this enormous release of just like all the celebrities compromising photos. Blake Lively was part of that. It was like, it was just a scene. Like, I didn't, nobody. So she has also been validated, and the show is truly heightening how innocent Pamela Anderson was and how hard she was trying to be taken seriously and like making smart moves and doing all this good stuff. And so it is educating us a little bit. Like, she's not a bimbo that this just got released, but she also didn't say yes to it. So is Pam and Tommy wilding or working it?
Interesting. I also think I read a headline that that whole entire experience was very traumatizing for Pamela Anderson.
Of course
So
it
I
was.
can only imagine having a show that you have nothing to do with is also incredibly traumatizing. So, and I think on the plus side, yay that Blake Lively is directing it. Absolutely. I think if you want to tell the story, either just tell your own story then,
Yeah.
or just change the names. Like it could be Damala Manderson and Fami
I like
He,
the
you know,
generous loophole. You'll tell your own story is the right answer. Yes.
just change the names, or like, but then if you change the names, you can then mix in other like celebrities who this has happened to, so you can really sort of heighten it and just really
Sure.
tell the story that you want to tell. So,
Yeah.
but it won't get the attention that it is. They want to tell the story, and like, what better vehicle than these two people to get eyeballs on it? Because if it was just Samantha Jones
Right.
and Tommy Lee, oh well, that's the same thing. People wouldn't have tuned in as much, you know.
Yeah. No, exactly. So yeah, it'll be, and the reviews are saying that the first two, there's one, if you do watch it, there's a scene in the second episode that you're like, what am I watching? It is a body part has been anthropomorphized, and there's a
Mm.
full scene with it, and
Mm.
it's talking, and it's
Okay.
wild.
All
Yeah.
right. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't. I'm probably gonna watch it because I love sensationalness. I'm part of the problem.
Mhm.
But I will give a moment of reflection to
Okay.
Pamela Anderson as I watch.
So we
As I
think
watch.
Pam and Tommy is working it.
No, I think it's wildin'. I'm still gonna watch. It's absolutely wildin'. Oh yeah, hey
Yeah.
wildin'. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch, but at the same time, like it's sort of like Tina Turner had difficulties. What she never has seen. What's Love Got to Do with It, starring
Mhm.
Angela Bassett. Although she did do Angela Bassett's makeup for the last scenes, they had a moment together, but she
Oh,
wasn't really heavily involved. I think in the project, she was involved with the musical Tina. She really felt like she got to tell her own story there. So I just think like asking people sometimes to relive their own trauma, I think get them involved with the project, see if it is that they want to revisit that. Otherwise, maybe we just don't even tell that story, or there's a different way to tell that story, you know, because
Yep.
you're using them.
Agreed. I agree. I think they shouldn't have made it without her co-signing.
So when are you watching episode 3?
Sure. Yeah. Tomorrow. I don't know. Tomorrow.
Listen, it's it's too hard to be a good person. We try. We try. Oh man. All
Yeah.
right, Renee, we're gonna hit everybody with some quick goodbye wisdom, some Wednesday wisdom. Do you have some Wednesday wisdom for the audience?
Yeah. And then she just came up with it. Learn, and do better. I think that we as a society are maybe just this or that. Nobody's this or that. All of us are deeply flawed. We are all racist. We're all privileged. We aren't all privileged, but like we all have blind spots. And the only way to learn is if you get feedback and go, yep, yeah, shoot, okay. And then you move on. So don't get defensive. Don't not speak. Talk, take it in, and then do better.
Yeah, we all have unconscious bias. We all have it, you know, and it's that sort of checking in with it. And yeah, it's sort of it's like, you know, people are like, oh, I don't see race. And I'm like, well, you don't see me and my journey and my experience. It'd be like, I don't see gender. It's like, no, I absolutely do. And I have to like mitigate how I interact with people of like, okay, am I interrupting this person because they're a woman or just because I'm rude and that's how I operate? Or like I grew up in a family of like 46 first cousins.
Right.
Conversations are like double dutch. You got to jump in. So that's how I roll, right? But also, so I have to check in with that, you know, and how can I be more of an ally? And we all have different blind spots and assumptions. And the brain is wired to make quick judgments and assumptions to keep us safe because it's our old reptilian brain, but we have to challenge and push against that. So
Yeah, exactly. How
I
did
think
you
it's great.
your wisdom? What do
And
you
we
got?
will be playing, although it's not this or that, we will be playing this or that tomorrow. So just a little caveat. Mine is be awkward, brave, and kind in asking for your needs and wants to be met.
Nice.
It's been the biggest thing that I've learned through my Mercury in retrograde. We have survived,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of confrontations that I was being met with, and it was, the thing that needed to happen is I needed to ask for my wants and needs to be met from the other person. And what that does is allows the other person to participate. Don't read their lines for them. We play all the parts in our own head, and we already do the whole entire scenario, but we don't allow them to participate. We allow that other person to participate. You let them know the rules of the game. They might say yes, they might say no. A lot of times when they love you, they'll say yes, or they'll try, and they might even still fail, or they might even say, no, I can't do that. I can't meet that want or need for you. But you're allowing them to participate. You're keeping it out of your own head. And if and when they say yes, it's going to bring you closer together because you were vulnerable, but it's scary. So you got to be awkward. It's got to be, but you got to be brave. You got to be awkward about it. Yeah, that's my ask for your wants and needs to be met.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. I could not love it more. Could not love it more. Yes.
That's it for the show. We did it. I think I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. Well, sad because I have to leave all of our wonderful Get On Uppers. A big thank you to Amanda, Deborah McIntosh, Verona, Sunny, Bella, Nathan, and sometimes C, Jennifer Lopez, Cole, Doug. Thank you for chiming in and joining the conversation, helping us with our wowing and working it. Rowan and Bob, we're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's Thursday. We've got some great stuff for you. You already know we're going to play this or that. We got some scenarios for you. You're going to help us decide if we're going to do this or if we're going to do that. We're going to check in with Renee's my favorite segment Renee does, her accidental thirst traps, things that are not supposed to be thirsty on the internet. She finds and she's drooling, and sometimes it's cupcakes. Sometimes it's, I was gonna say clowns. Ugh, no, that's not fun. We're gonna check in how we're thriving. We're gonna do a Throwback Thursday deep dive around Black history. And what are we thirsting for that's coming up in our lives? What we can't wait for.
Yeah. Jim, the weirdest thing is happening. This song that I love so much is playing so loud in my ear, and I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Wait, like I came here for love? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's great. Yep. So that's all you're hearing right now. Love it. Okay, so many tabs open. Also, don't forget there's more shows coming up right here. Stick around. You've got Anthony Davis Show, My Pal Hal, and Mario Smith all coming up to you back to back. Remember to leave a review on www.backchannel.tv. And thank you all. And, thanks to our producer, Sarah. Sarah, we love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for watching Get On Up. I'm James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee Culver. And you just
got on up. I came here for love.